Germany is rewriting the rules for geothermal development.
And if this works, it could unlock billions of underground heat, not in decades, but in years.
So what exactly did they change?
The new Geothermal Acceleration Act means that geothermal projects are considered as overriding public interest, streamlining approval processes and cutting red tape.
So what does this mean for the industry, and could Germany finally become a geothermal powerhouse?
This is GeoTV, Germany Accelerates.
Welcome back to GeoTV. I'm Gabriella Skog.
And I'm Boel Stier. So deep geothermal has always been technically feasible in Germany, but slow permitting, complex regulation, and early-stage financial risk have kept the sector from scaling.
I feel like I've heard this story before, and are we really sure that this new Acceleration Act can help tackle all of those barriers?
Not on its own, but together with a recent financial package offering low-interest loans and an exploration insurance covering between 30 and 70% of drilling risk, the results could be massive.
That's quite impressive, I have to say. And to help us understand better what this could mean for the industry, we sat down with Florian Stanko, head of policy at the German Geothermal Association.
He's one of the people helping shape Germany's geothermal policy.
For the first time in German history, there's a law specifically addressing geothermal, and that didn't exist before. The most important points from my perspective would be that the construction and operation of a geothermal plant is now in the overriding public interest. This means that geothermal projects are given priority over other considerations, for example, nature conservation, when weighing up decisions. So that's a great thing. And also that seismic explorations are no longer considered a deliberate disturbance of wild animals under nature conservation law. So now they can be carried out all year round. Previously, this was only possible for about 6 months of the year. And another point that also concerns seismic exploration, short-term seismic measurements on private property must be tolerated. And previously, a right of access had to be obtained for each private property. And this was very time-consuming. In addition to that, deep geothermal projects and underground thermal energy storage facilities receive a special privilege under construction law. Also, the main operation plans for construction and operation of geothermal plants will be given a longer time limit. So the previous standard validity for a period of 2 years will be increased to a minimum of 4 years or a maximum of 8 years. So that's also great. And perhaps one last point, the licensing authority is supposed to decide on the approval of a deep geothermal project or a heat storage facility within 1 year, and a deep geothermal project in connection with heat pumps within 3 months. So that's real acceleration from our point of view. So we expect the Geothermal Acceleration Act to significantly boost the industry over the next 5 to 10 years, just by simplifying approvals, prioritizing projects as being of the so-called overriding public interest, and thus accelerating investments and project pipelines. So with this improved planning, security, and less bureaucracy, there's a good chance that geothermal will experience a noticeable growth spurt and become a mainstay of climate-neutral heat supply in Germany. That's at least what we hope.
So far, it sounds like a big step forward, but is anything missing?
We asked Florian if there are any areas where the Act could be improved.
I mean, there's always something to improve. So there is a provision in the Geothermal Acceleration Act that we view very critically. So for the exploration and extraction of geothermal energy, the project developer must provide proof of insurance against any mining damage that may occur. And this makes geothermal the first and only mining activity for which such proof is required. And so we are critical of this regulation because it suggests that the technology is fundamentally dangerous and apparently classifies it as more, it's apparently classified as more dangerous than any other mining activities, which are not subject to this obligation. In addition to that, we would also appreciate if shallow geothermal were exempted from the so-called Repository Site Selection Act. You see, in Germany, we are still searching for a safe underground location for radioactive waste produced during the time we used nuclear power. And this becomes relevant where geothermal drilling could affect potential final storage sites. In such cases, restrictions or testing requirements may apply. And we are committed to ensuring that this regulation does not apply to shallow geothermal, as we believe that the final repository will firstly be located significantly deeper than 400 meters. And secondly, not be located near settlements, in other words, where people would use shallow geothermal. And this would simplify the whole approval process for those projects. And we would also advocate that the circulation of thermal water, regardless of the quantity, is that the obligation to carry out an environmental impact assessment, that this one is eliminated. And this concerns obviously deep hydrothermal geothermal, because we think only the heat is extracted from the thermal water, otherwise it returns to the ground unchanged in a closed circuit, meaning that its material composition remains unchanged.
If Germany gets this right, geothermal won't just heat homes. It could reshape the whole energy map of Europe.
The Geothermal Acceleration Act signals something important. Geothermal is no longer a side conversation. It's entering the core of Germany's heat transition.
Absolutely, and honestly, it feels like something has shifted. This is the momentum that the industry has been waiting for.
I agree, you can sense it. Policy aligning with projects, ambition aligning with execution.
Definitely. And the next few years, I believe, are going to be decisive, and we'll be following every step of it.
This has been GeoTV. If you have a story you think we should cover, let us know.
Until then, stay curious, stay energized,
and stay hot.